Hello, friends, and welcome to episode 756 of the ChairShot Podcast, your weekly dose of wrestling talk, life talk, maybe footy, except it's the summer, so no footy this week. Bit of movies, bit of TV, any other shit we've been up to, really. Joined by Paul Griffin, as usual.
Hello, Joe.
What presses the buttons? And press them, and we are recording. So,
yeah,
that's why you're hearing this in your ears. Paul, what's going on?
What's been going on? Oh my god, I do press the buttons, that's for sure. And I will say, the last couple of weeks, with this laptop I'm using, the editing process takes about as long as these bloody episodes are. It's like when you see a review of, I don't know, an episode of Game of Thrones, and the review is longer than the episode was. Do you ever see that? Like a YouTube review of Game of Thrones, season 2, episode 5. 4 hours. Review, 4 hours review. Exactly. So that's what this editing process is like lately. So
what are you using?
It's not even necessarily what I'm using. It's just the speed at which the computer does it.
Oh, the old hardware.
The old hardware. So I will get my other laptop repaired maybe in the next month, because it's just eating away at my mental health. To be honest. The hard drive on the laptop. See, when I bought this I bought this as a laptop as a cheap replacement for the other one, because I was like, what do I do on the laptop? All I do is I do the podcast. If I need to access like Microsoft Office or whatever, but like for watching YouTube or whatever, I have my iPad, I have my phone, I have my TV. You know, I don't use the laptop for a lot of stuff that I guess people would typically use the laptop for. Really, I use the iPad for a lot of more recreational stuff. And then I bought the cheapy laptop, and then actually that turned out, because it has very little hard drive space, whenever I'm trying to, the way Audacity is what I still use for the basic editing. I know these podcast systems have their own editing software. I know that.
Shit.
I know you can use Adobe. I did use Adobe for a while, a long time ago. Adobe, like Premiere, for example. But just the easiest. But then the way Audacity holds the data while you're editing it, it like blows up the storage that it uses to a huge amount. Yeah. So I'm trying to import or export files, and it's like, you have no hard drive space. Sorry. So you're having to piecemeal like the episode into different parts to process, to then stitch back together like Frankenstein's monster. Anyway, listeners won't know this, because the output at the end of the day is chef's kiss.
It's award winning.
It's like Mr. Chef, where they do the secret challenge, and then Marcus Waring goes, you've done a great job, and Greg, who's not on it anymore, goes, that is divine.
Oh, take your pants off.
That's anyway. That's not a big deal. It's still a labor of love. I don't mind to do it. The listeners enjoy the show. I'm happy to go through it.
If you're on some behind the scenes, so they're like a little bit of behind the shit. Speaking of behind the scenes, Barry is not behind the scenes. He is not on set. He is a thing somewhere.
He's at a festival.
He's at a festival. I think I saw Kate Nash, Underworld. Couple of other interesting lineups there, so that'll be fun. I hope he's enjoying that. I'll be back with a review next week. But speaking of reviews, Paul, any life reviews?
Yeah.
Give us a star rating for your week or something like that.
It's been a good week. They're like a 3 3/4.
Okay, pretty good. Yeah.
It's a good week. The TV saga has concluded.
All right.
It wasn't really a saga. It was only 1 week long.
This was Paul bought a TV, and one of the pixels was not working.
You're very professional. You've done the little fill in the listeners who maybe didn't hear it last week.
Except I couldn't really remember exactly what was wrong with the TV.
Joe's hit the bros with the previously on Lost. Yeah, there was so what happened last week, I'll just summarize quickly, was I bought a new telly, and it was on sale, so I was very happy with the price of it. Took it home, watched the movie on it, Disclosure Day, a very not good movie. And then realized as we turned it off after Disclosure Day, there's a glow on the screen. There's a cloudy glow where it's supposed to be dark.
Yeah.
Took it into the shop, fully expecting it to just be replaced No, we have to look at it. We have to dot all the I's, cross all T's, do all this over here, do all this over here. Fucking give me the runaround.
Shut up.
Took the TV. I went home with an empty box with a remote control in it. And so what happened was later that day, I got an email from the engineer who was supposed to look at it that said, LG won't approve a repair because it was bought within 30 days. User will be referred to the store.
Right.
So I emailed the help desk immediately after that saying, hey, I just got this message over here. What's going on? Should I come in and get this sorted out? This was like still on the Sunday or the Monday. So this was still 1 or 2 days only after I bought the TV. And they come back to me, no, we still have to look at it. We'll reach out to you in a couple of days. Whole week goes by. I haven't been contacted.
Jesus.
So on Friday, I emailed them again, and I say, I'm anxious because I've bought a TV, and it's 5 days now with no news, no updates. I got this message from some nebulous person that the TV won't be repaired, and I'll be referred to the store. So I don't know what I'm waiting for 5 days.
Cool.
I said my feeling is that this is going to be replaced ultimately anyway. Yeah. So could we sort something out? They email back, if you want to go to the store, we'll do you a refund on a goodwill basis.
Okay.
I'm in the store within 20 minutes.
I'm outside. What time's you open?
Basically.
I can see you behind the desk.
Yeah. So I go to the store with the empty box with the remote control in it. And talking to the guy there, very helpful, by the way, completely different experience to my last week's one. He says to me, by the way, who did you speak to last week? I said, it was this girl, young girl, like sort of red-haired. He goes, yeah. She's part-time. He said knowingly, like, so you spoke to the bozo, the part-time bozo. So anyway, he's on the phone then to whoever, he's manager, whoever he talks to. And they say, well, we can do your refund. I said, okay, well, if you don't mind to save some of the effort.
Yeah.
If you give me a refund, I'm just going to immediately buy the same telly again. So could we just skip some of the steps and we just do a replacement instead of a refund? And then I have to go on the phone, find the deal again, and order it. So they just bring me out the new TV, load it into the car, drive home, set it up. Works perfectly. No issue this time. So again, my feeling is something was loose in the telly. One of the LED strips or connectors or whatever probably loose in the TV. New TV comes, exact same model, no issue. So it was faulty. Why it took 5 days to get to that step, I'm still not entirely sure. But it is resolved. I'm happy with that. So I'm not going to put any more badness onto the name of Power City. They did ultimately sort me out, so I was happy with that. Watched another movie on it to baptize the new telly. Yes. A much better movie than I watched last week. I played a round of golf yesterday morning with my dad.
Very nice.
Which was very nice. He made the mistake of saying, let's put a little wageroo on it. Whoever wins the front nine gets €2. Whoever wins the back nine gets €2, and then €2 for whoever wins overall. So I left with €6, which was
big time.
He set himself up for a fall. I played well. I was very happy. I had that kind of when something, that thing comes over you and you just suddenly have mad confidence. There was one putt on the 18th hole, the very last hole. We played at Elm Hall golf course in Selbridge, near where I live, and last hole was a 20-foot putt. And I just knew it was going to go in. I don't know why, because usually when my putting is usually very bad, and I usually will be in my head going, "Oh, this won't go anywhere near," and then I'll have to put again. I'll probably miss that one as well, and I'll get like a 3 putt. This one, for whatever reason, I said this one's going in. No doubt in my mind. Steps up, knocks it straight in. Happy days. So that was a really fun game of golf. Played much better than I normally do. And then one last story is this morning. I had a craving, not for a McDonald's, you'll be surprised to hear, not for a Burger King, but for a Subway sandwich.
Oh,
I was in the mood for a Subway sandwich. And I particularly like Subway's rotisserie chicken. So whenever I go to Subway, I always get some rotisserie chicken. There's an in-joke, though, between me and my brother whenever we go to Subway.
Yeah.
Is one of the times we went, I flubbed, as I was making the order, I flubbed and I called it a Rotissierie Chicken.
Oh, no.
Which isn't a thing. And now we've referenced it so many times that when I go, I need to like psych myself up to say the right thing.
Rotisserie.
Yeah. Rotisserie. It's like rotisserie chicken. Rotisserie chicken.
Just
Rotissierie. Like a mad Italian man. And then this time I went this morning, got a lovely, lovely sandwich. But I forgot to do the bit where I think in advance what the right one is.
Oh no! So you said rotisserie.
So I said, can I have some rotisserie chicken on it, please? Oh no! I said the wrong one. It was lovely sandwich, by the way. But
I'd imagine in terms of people that go to Subway, that's not the worst pronunciation they've heard.
No,
in that day, probably.
There was a guy in front of me getting a sandwich, and they ask you at the end like what sauce you want on it, and he got one of the sort of beige colored sauces. I don't know which one it was exactly, but the guy behind the counter said, all right, tell me when. And the guy just let him put like an absolute crazy amount of sauce on it. And then when they cut the sandwich in half, that knife was just drenched in sauce, which is the problem is that they used that same knife for cutting everything.
You got to wipe the knife. Come on.
They do wipe it, but even so, trust me, this was like the knife had been dipped into the sauce. So when
I've never had that in Subway. Normally they just I think maybe I'm there when it's busy and they say, okay, what sauce? Ranch.
I think the person might have asked for like extra, and so
maybe maybe it was like
that out.
Yeah, right, got it.
But when he asked if you want it cut in half, I said, "No, you're all right. I'll just eat it like a big."
I'll eat it in one, thanks. Long ways. So thank you.
So yeah, good week. Bought my magazine, played golf, got the TV sorted, had a chicken sandwich. What about yourself?
Nice. Yeah, not too much this week. Get out and about a little bit. Went to the library yesterday morning, so finally.
I love a library.
Signed up to the library online. Obviously, you got to go in there and get the book at some point. So I popped in. There's a local library near us, which we walk past quite often, but I've never been there despite living nearby. Because there were quite a few libraries around when I was a kid, so we'd go to like other ones quite a lot.
Sure.
Never went to this one. Finally went in there, and it's kind of a beautiful like building on the outside, built in like 1904. I read on the plaque inside. Funded by Andrew Carnegie, the famous kind of Scottish American steel magnate. He apparently, I did not know this, paid for a lot of libraries in the UK as well as in the US. And so it's an interesting bit of trivia.
Like Carnegie Hall.
Carnegie Hall, same guy. Obviously a bit like I don't this particular library does not get like government funding or council funding. It is purely like kind of charitable basis. It's run, it's all volunteers. It's not like like a state-run library. So it is a bit run down. It's a bit kind of, they're making do with what they got. But it's a nice feeling. You go in and they got notice board, local events, and the flyers, and there's lots of events going on. And there's lots of kids in there because it was a Saturday morning. So it's nice just to go to like a community space and kind of feel that sense of, there are other people out in the community that exist, and we're all doing the same thing, which you don't often get when you're doing things online. Just downloading a book. What? In your brain? No, rubbish. Yeah. So they didn't have it wasn't, not a huge library, so we didn't have a ton of books, but I was looking for some John le Carré. So I've never read, I've never read any of his books.
Tinker Tailor. And...
Yes, and that's the one I got, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. So I'm going to look forward to, I just finished my last book, so I'm going to be starting that one next week. So that was a good one. I'm reading more. I've got through a book a month since I started this new job, and I plan on continuing that. Should be able to keep up that pace. So I thought rather than buying books, which I don't mind spending the money on a book, buy a smaller space like we've got
For sure.
You know, we've got a lot of books, we've got a lot of puzzles, we've got a lot of stuff, and we do not have space. So,
Although
nice.
buying books is an excuse to buy a bookcase.
Well, but then I need someone to put the bookcase. That's the problem.
That's the trick. It's like Tetris. You have to find
the case doesn't add extra space to the room. You see, that's the problem I'm having. It's not like the TARDIS. You know, it's not like get it out of the way.
Well, I do look. For example, I have a little, not a bookcase, like a little. You know those IKEA squares that are split with like cross in the middle, so 4. Yeah. I've been looking at that for a while, going, a nice tall bookcase could go there. So now all this vertical space that doesn't get used can now be used. I have to visit my library on Tuesday because the bank holiday weekend here, and they're closed. So I know I have to bring my book back on Tuesday. I think Tuesday is the day it's due back. Dan Brown's Origin, which I'm still reading. About 100 pages left, so I'll just sit down and power through it tomorrow. Since it's bank holiday, I'm not working. And bring that back. And then I'll be reading the next James Bond, Anthony Horowitz book, which I've taken out already, and I'll renew that when I'm over, dropping the other one back.
Fabulous.
The library, an absolute world of wonders.
Go to your local library and get a book.
And then I'll be going on my holidays in September. I won't be buying a book for holidays. I'll just borrow one from the library.
Perfect. You
don't tell them to get a bit of sand on it or something.
Take it out of the country. That's fine. They won't know.
They won't know. Because it'll be going back afterwards, unless I lose it. Which could happen, I guess.
That is the life. Should we talk about wrestling? Oh, we
will talk a bit of wrestling, and I wanted to have one of our not regular features. It's, what is it now? Every 2 months, maybe. Talk about WWE, state of WWE, because we don't watch WWE, of course. I am at the stage where literally, and this was under duress this year, literally I watch Royal Rumble and WrestleMania and nothing else. So like 3 shows a year. SummerSlam was last night. I did not watch it before anyone hunkers down for my SummerSlam Night 1 review. I did not watch SummerSlam, and I will not watch SummerSlam. I just want to talk about the state of WWE as far as wrestling goes, because, you know, the state of you. Because obviously between AEW and WWE, there's a lot of redundant online discourse. WWE fans saying AEW is just finisher, kick out, and no selling, and then WWE's modern style is that. But when WWE do it, it's fine. Yeah. And then AEW fans will go, what about this? What about this stuff? So I'm not going to quite get into that. But I was looking at the lay of the land when it comes to the opposition, let's call them. And it's funny because lately it feels like they've got 4 main eventers in WWE. None of them are baby faces. None of them are heels. They're all shades of grey. And they just rotate the 4 of them and do the exact same storyline over and over again. Which is, so let's say your 4, by the way, are Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, and CM Punk.
Yeah.
They're the 4 top guys. The storyline they do over and over is they say, let's take, for example, Seth Rollins is going to wrestle CM Punk at whatever the big pay-per-view coming up is, right? The storyline is they every week do a face-off where they do like a work shoot promo and reference the previous like 15 years of their careers and say, you know, I respect you, big man, but I don't like you. Or, okay, let's say Seth Rollins could talk about with CM Punk, their Ring of Honor history, they'll allude to that, or their early years in WWE, the Shield. They'll often refer to the same 5 or 6 talking points in a work shoot kind of way, like I say, and then maybe it'll end with a schmoz or a brawl. And you just rinse and repeat. I don't know how many times this year when I'm on social media or on YouTube or whatever, and you'll see the big main event segment of the night before was a promo between these 2 guys who are having, it's like the exact same. You could probably pull up over the last 6 months of WWE, every single Raw, every single SmackDown ends with the exact same style promo. Exact same. And then you have the match, and the match is always ho-hum with an interference in it. Every time. And then we had the one clip of SummerSlam that I did see was the Hell in a Cell match they had last night.
Right.
Which was Brock Lesnar and Obafemi, who Obafemi is the new main event guy they're building, right?
Right.
He beat Brock Lesnar. Again, I don't want to get into the whataboutism of no selling and when it's appropriate and when it's not. But there was a very funny finish, I will just say in isolation, where Brock Lesnar gave Obafemi 3 F5s. After each, Obafemi just stood straight up. They didn't even do a finisher kick out because there was no kick out because they didn't even do a pinfall attempt. Lesnar then tore the mat off the ring and gave Obafemi a tombstone onto the exposed boards, which was kicked out of course. And then Obafemi got up and hit him with one power bomb, not on the boards, just in the ring. Very, very funny. So Obafemi is the new. He's vanquished Lesnar. Hopefully Lesnar will never be seen again, or mentioned on the show. And Obafemi is the new king of WWE. The problem is with Obafemi is, as we've established over the last 6 months, he does not fit into WWE's model of what a main eventer actually is. Never mind being a larger than life character. Never mind the fan response to you for it or not. Never mind charisma. Charisma does not matter.
Okay.
Obafemi does not have 15 years of history to be referenced in these infinite work shoot promos, which is what the WWE main event is these days. It's very, very odd.
So and I feel now for 5 years, then AEW for 5 years, then bring him back, and he'll be ready. He'll be ready.
That is literally, it feels like, what needs to happen, with the exception of Rollins and Reigns, of course. But Cody and CM Punk have certainly gone through that journey. So it's interesting because I feel like they've cycled those 4 main eventers so many times now. Cody, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and Roman. I don't know how many more times you can do variations of those 4 in singles feuds. So I feel like they will need to change the model because they are getting to the point where it doesn't. You know, what else can you do? Do Roman Cody again? Do the exact same thing where they do these promos? I mean, the Bloodline they're still just about doing. That's running on fumes, of course, since 2021 when it peaked. 2022. So I don't know. They're in an interesting spot. SummerSlam I don't think was as panned as a lot of the stuff has been lately. Did you see? Did you see? Sorry, we'll move away from the main event for a moment. Did you see the Danhausen Joe Hendry segment?
Yeah, I did. That's like one of the only things I've seen of WWE in the last month or two. I did see it, unfortunately. Yes.
How far did that go to validate your fandom of AEW?
Well, 100%. Thing is,
don't make me say I'll never complain about Haymaker ever again. I'll never complain about. This is what's on the other channel, brother. The phenomenon of Danhausen. That is over as Rover. Everyone loves him until a segment, a clanger like this comes along. Danhausen strikes me very much as the 2026 Fandango. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's gonna burn out pretty quickly. They're really overexposing him.
That 2026 Eugene, 2026 Fandango, 2026 Santino.
Yeah, I can see that ending very suddenly, and with him popping up occasionally to do the Ron Simmons punchline kind of thing.
Damn. Yeah.
But good for him. He's riding it at the moment. Fair play to him.
For sure. And I've always sort of liked Danhausen, but again, the point of something catching on, and he's on every show. He's in every segment, 6 segments a show, and then the concert. The concert strikes me as a particularly tone deaf thing because, the concert segment has historically been like a heel thing. It's an annoying, smarmy, attention on me. I'm doing a concert. I mean, heel rock, obviously is where that was primarily a thing. I mean, you could go back to Honky Tonk Man and the like from beforehand, but to have 2 earnest faces who are kind of meme characters ultimately anyway, come out and do that. I thought it was baffling. And then Ryan Garcia, who's, let me tell you, a real piece of shit involved as well. My God. So yeah, that's your WWE dip the toe in the pool and just look on from a distance and just shake your head, sage. Say, oh,
brother,
no.
I'm too grown for that. We've got some AEW news as well. So
sorry, that's what we primarily talk about on here.
Those that watched Redemption, the pay-per-view in Montreal, and watched the pre-show will have seen the Rougeau brothers Hall of Fame speech they gave.
It was nice.
Inducting themselves. Yeah, I really like the segment. It was bonkers, but I thought, good, wrestling needs a little bit of like craziness. Yeah. So apparently there was supposed to be a video pack because it was a celebration of the Rougeau family that have been,
yes,
kind of a legacy in French Canada for a long time in wrestling. There was no kind of specific like video package or highlight reel or anything that summed that up, because apparently the word came out via Dave Meltzer, or actually before the Observer, but Dave had more information on it, that Jacques Rougeau, who may be better known to some listeners as the Mountie from early 90s WWF New Generation era, he said he would provide the video package.
And even more mad, AEWFL.
Okay, they said.
With no overplay.
That's fine. That's the bit that gets me, not the fact that apparently now the video is out there. He posted it on Facebook, so I'm sure people have seen it. And it's not actually as bad as described, I didn't think. Like, it was some, the creepy kind of AI in it. But other than that, it was just a kind of normal shit, really.
It has stuff that legally they couldn't.
The problem was, it was just they didn't have the rights to it. I think if you took the AI stuff out, it wasn't like that bad video.
No, it wasn't bad video. Really. Well, I understand why it couldn't be used.
Of course, yeah.
It wasn't bad.
But that's what baffled me. Why would you let the Mountie produce his own video and not have a backup ready for like the day in case? Yeah. They must have assumed that, like, where did they think he was going to get the video from? Like, he doesn't own his own video library, does he? What? Like,
maybe they were thinking of that, like, because it's about the family. Maybe they thought, maybe he's got some stuff from yonder photos or whatever. But yeah, I mean, the blindness to just be saying, yeah, you go do it, whatever you want. We won't even approve it or do anything in advance. Just turn up on the day with the video and we'll go, oh no, Jesus, we can't use it.
I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say maybe they thought exactly what we're saying. And they said, no, look, Jacques, we're going to make it.
They should have had a check with anyway.
No, but my point is, how could they? Maybe they were relying on him or the family to get
to provide
photos or videos or something to make. Maybe they didn't have it because realistically, what archival footage could AEW get?
Yeah,
from that territory. So I'm just thinking back to like situations at work where you're chasing someone for something. They're it's fine, and you chase and they just keep fobbing you off, and eventually you're just like, okay. Basically, either if he turns up and the video is amazing, we'll use it. If not, there's just no video. It could be one of those situations.
I mean, really, all you could have is like photos with voiceover.
They're probably going to license a few photos, but I don't know if that was.
Where you see like courtesy of Pro Wrestling.
Straight through that with like Sting. A lot of his packages.
Yeah, exactly.
They only have New Japan stuff. But so that was interesting. And then we got this caused a bit of a kerfuffle in my transfer plans for the rest of the year, but we had the announcement on Collision of the Continental Cup.
Yes, which is itself a cup. It's just the FA Cup.
This is the cup version of the Continental Classic. So this is, rather than being league, this isn't if that's the Champions League, this is the FA Cup.
Yeah, which I love the concept of.
I know. The fact that they called out the FA Cups, not just like...
But that the cup is the... I mean, I don't know how legally they can just make it the FA. It is just the FA Cup with a different...
I'm sure it's fine.
The point where even, the FA Cup has like the Football Association Challenge Cup. They have like the Continental Challenge Cup for it on the cup. To that level of detail.
Maybe they got agreement with the FA. Tony Khan might have set fund,
or maybe it's public domain.
It could be
or something.
It's been around a long time. So the Continental Cup. So will be 16 entrants in random draws. I'm looking forward to the draw because we have spoken again in the past.
Well,
that we've wanted.
I just said the attention to detail to even have Challenge Cup on the trophy. It's going to be all the more disappointing where they still don't bother to do like the little draw.
If you're not familiar with cup draws in the UK, what it has traditionally involved is
there's no bracket.
There's no brackets. It's like you have a load of balls in it. It's like kind of the Royal Rumble where you pull a ball out and it's like, okay, that's your matchup. But you do that after every round. So there's no bracket. But what the actual ceremony of pulling the balls out involved usually two kind of farty old men sat around the table. Yeah.
It'll be like Danny Murphy and Dion Dublin.
Well, I'm getting further back, Paul. Maybe you're too young for this, but like I'm talking like early 90s. Before nowadays, they do it on TV and they have a couple of like either a celebrity or like a couple of famous ex-pros pundits doing it. In the old days, it used to be like the chief executive of the FA and then two like assistant, it's like administrative type people, not celebrities. And so they would sit around like a kind of boardroom table with a sort of suede pouch full of these balls with numbers on,
like big marbles, basically,
like big bingo ball, basically dark kind of bingo balls. And they pull them out and they go, "Oh, number 7." They say, "Number 7, that's Preston North End," and they will face number 12. Number 12, that's Aston Villa, and they would just go through this and until they do all the draws. Nowadays, it happens on TV like immediately after the game, and it's as Paul says, like a couple of celebrities, and it's a bit more razzmatazz than it's like the UEFA ones. They obviously drag it out a lot more, but it's like that. And so whenever the Continental Classic has happened, Paul and I have said, God, what we want is that kind of like Champions League or FA Cup style draw. We want like a big show and Tony Schiavone like pulling the balls out and giving us a little bit of analysis in between. And they've never done that. They've just kind of announced, oh, here's the freaking here's the leagues, the Gold League and the Blue League on social media. So they have said they're going to do a draw on YouTube, I think. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed.
I'm hoping, but my expectations are super low for this.
I want Tony Khan pulling bingo balls out of a suede.
I have a tumbler.
Pouch. No, but I want the old.
Well, no, they put the pouch. They have the pouch, but they pour it into like a.
I don't like
a fish bowl, and they do that so they can mix them around.
But now they can see them.
Yeah, I think I'll tell you what, Joe. I'll go one further than you. I want the draw to be a shoot draw.
Well, that's not happening.
Why not? Why not do it as shoot?
Because they obviously have a final match in mind that they want to get to. I guess they could just keep those two apart.
Sure.
And then do the rest of the shoot.
I think it'd be more creative and have.
Did you learn nothing from All for All? Come on.
Well. I don't know. I think if you have a match in mind, whatever, but I think it'd be more interesting to do it that way. But to our point anyway, we want there to be some like the video shouldn't just be a video package of here's the matches. We want to see
the draw, even his works.
I want to see Lexi Nair or Renee with Paul White and Jeff Jarrett. Yeah. And I
want a list of numbers on the side of the screen with like number 1,
you see here's the 16 Moxley,
number 2 Cassidy, but in alphabetical order. I want to see that. Even if it's a word, it's fine.
Yeah. I would say you have it on YouTube, but I would like to see like a shortened version at like the start of Dynamite.
Sure, a few seconds, as a little video recap. Yeah. I would love to see that. So that's going to be that. And then essentially the winner is going to go to Wembley and compete for both the title and a cup.
Yeah.
So it's 2 prizes in one, is what we're saying here, essentially. So that is tasty.
And I have one more request.
Go on.
I've mentioned it to be a shoot. That's okay. That one I can take. I'll hit you with a second one. The winner collects the cup up in the stand.
Yes. Up in the royal box.
Yes.
And
they go up and
you have a dignitary up there. Who could it be? We need a.
Imagine the photographs of the first Continental Cup and they're lifting the trophy in front
in the stand with presented by Prince Harry.
Well, it can be presented by whoever. It can be again a wrestling legend. But imagine that, like this, they go up and get it.
Johnny Saint presenting the trophy up there.
I think those little details could make this like a special thing. If it's just matches and they're just, whatever.
Yeah.
Like the effort they went through to put Challenge Cup on the trophy, I want that level of effort and detail throughout. Make that feel like a special thing.
That would be funny.
Not even funny. That would be great. It would be cool.
It would be great. It would be cool, but also, yeah, great. I'm just imagining walking through like the crowd. I don't know to where the stairs are. That would take forever, though. It's the only problem. They go all the way from the ring to the.
But they don't need to necessarily. They could do a match in between and then go to the presentation.
Do it afterwards. Yeah. That'd be fun.
I think it'd be cool. Anyway, that's news. Our news.
News and nonsense. Should we go into the fantasy update?
Yes. So the transfer window has slammed shut. Joe has some transfers to announce. He has used his 2 transfers. Barry declined to use his second transfer, despite the fact that I am gaining on him at an astronomical rate.
Yeah.
There was now 6 points between Barry and me after this week.
Insane.
Given that, there was a one point where it was like you were 200 points ahead of me and Barry was 100 points. It was like 0, 100, 200. And I've nearly caught Barry now, which, I mean, I'm still very far behind you, but over the last 10 weeks, I've you beaten by 70 points. Yeah. So knock on wood that maybe I can make a run at it. But Barry neglected to use his extra transfer. So the transfer window is shut, and now remaining for the rest of the year, Joe has 3 transfers used, so 2 remaining. I have 4 used, 1 remaining. And Barry has 3 used, 2 remaining. So that's where we're looking potentially. So as of this week, Joe on 1,044. So Joe has passed the 1,000 mark. 771 for me, 777 for Barry. So Barry is the slot machine special, 777. Interestingly, Barry, the only one of us with not a single wrestler over 100 points.
That is. I was going to point that out because he did. I assume Tekla was on 100 points.
Tekla did and has gone back down.
And then lost the belt, so she dropped down to 97, which is funny.
Yeah. I have 6 over 100. You have 5, but you have also 2 wrestlers over 150, which I don't have any of.
I've got the big boys.
So I was very happy to see on Friday Bandito and Kyle Fletcher get the 5 stars. Ooh, all from me. Wait a second, what's this other 5-star match that definitely didn't deserve 5 stars, by the way? Young Bucks against Moxley. So stars galore. They've been added. So Joe, do you want to announce your transfers you made midweek? If you need, I have them to hand here.
I've got 2 trades. So I brought in Kenny Omega not too long ago
for the title win.
Basically, because I gambled that he was going to win the title, maybe defend it a couple of times, and that's pretty much what's happened. Not sure exactly how many points I've got from him.
I'll tell you exactly how many points. You traded Kenny Omega in on 37 points, and you're trading him out on 89. So you made 52 points while he was in your team.
Yeah, so I'm pretty pleased with that. If you consider what Ricochet has done in that time, it has won the trios, but obviously a big upgrade getting Kenny in. But my thinking is now that he's not going to wrestle again until All In, and he's going to lose the belt to Ospreay, and then he's going to take time off. I think that's highly likely, and therefore I have no use for you, Kenny Omega. You're gone. So I've traded him in. Now, this was tricky because looking at who's available, there are some decent bets, but I just couldn't really, find anyone. I was thinking Nick Jackson, but Paul nabbed him. I was thinking Joe White, but Barry nabbed him.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I settled on Alex Windsor.
I would say a guaranteed title win at All In, so that's my
thinking. My only hesitancy there was I didn't want to put all my eggs in Brad's basket.
Brawling Fruits, yeah.
If you know what I mean.
To be fair, having the eggs in the Divine Dominion basket for me
it's worked for Paul. It's worked for Paul. So I do think that will at least get me. Let's say they win the belts. That's going to be 22 points.
Well, you would get 10 for the title win plus triple points.
So 12.
24. So you get 34 points for a title win at all.
No,
10 for the title bonus.
World title.
No, world title is 20 bonus points. It's triple base points for all in. So you get 24 points for the win, 8 times 3. And then for a title win, you get 10 extra.
No,
so
it's
24.
four times 3. Isn't it?
Why would it be 4 times? It's
four,
triple.
But triple a normal win, it's like a regular win, right?
Yeah, so 8 is, sorry. You're right. You're right. I'm wrong. I'm tripling the pay-per-view.
You're tripling the pay-per-view win. Yeah, so 12.
Yeah,
12
you're wrong.
Win.
You're wrong. 12 plus 10. You're right. 24.
A bit of a disaster.
Jeez, I would have been giving this guy more points than he's actually deserved.
But that's still,
you're correct.
22 points. That is a decent haul.
That's
even if they don't do a load of title defenses, I'll take that.
And they'll have title defenses.
I think that's a fair few. And then my second trade, MJF, who has been out, I think, with a knee injury, and not even sure if he'll be back for All In. Honestly,
I would think if he is, he'd be in the gauntlet.
Yeah, possibly. Well, he did that last year, didn't he? That he won the gauntlet.
If he can still be in it.
I know he could be. Yeah, I know he could do it. A bit boring to have it again. But yeah, I don't think he's going to be wrestling much the next. I think it's going to give him some time off. Sure. And even then, even normally, he's not like, he's only had 14 matches like all year. He's not like a bit.
Which I would say is sort of
for him, that's
a lot for him.
Yeah. But he's had one fewer match to Jamie Hayter, who I feel like has been absent for months.
Yeah. Well, you have another even more absent person on your team that I'm surprised is still there, to be honest. But
yeah,
they might have a good end of year, but I don't know what is going on with Swerve Strickland. 11 matches.
I feel similar to Okada. I mean, Okada's not much better. I do think there's a fair chance that they could be used a lot more in the last few months. Like they've been kind of saved for the Continental Classic and the end of the year. So
Ospreay feud post All In win.
Yeah, I still think there's a good chance of like them having pay-per-view matches and a few wins and stuff. So I've kept them. I just think MJF and Omega are definitely going to be taking time off. So I've got rid of MJF and I've brought in, and this is another gamble really, and this is what happened during Collision, because originally I was going to take Ricochet back.
Yes, and you initially made that trade, and then
I made that trade, but obviously it wasn't official until
you did.
Today,
you did change it prior to the deadline, so it was allowed.
I got the paperwork in. I changed my mind when I saw that 6-man tag at Grand Slam next week.
Yeah.
Because I do have a feeling maybe the Demand are just going to lose the bus there, because that's Hangman's first match back with Brodido.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit worried that I brought in Ricochet, I got a bit carried away there.
And it's going to immediately lose. Yeah. I think it's very possible. Very.
So I'll risk that, and then maybe I can still bring in Ricochet later if no one else takes him. But yes, I took Ricochet out, and then watching Collision, I suddenly heard that Continental Cup announcement, and I thought, wait a minute. I need to get in on that action. And I think at that point, the only announcements were Marks, who I already have, Orange Cassidy, who I already have, Kyle O'Reilly, who Paul has,
I have,
and Roderick Strong, who is available. Then Nigel McGuinness threw his name into the literal hat. Yeah. And I thought, well, why would they be putting Nigel in this tournament at Wembley in a FA Cup themed tournament if he's not going to have a bit of a giant killing Cinderella run, a la Wigan Athletic versus Manchester City kind of, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of my hunch. Maybe I'll be proved wrong, but I'm going to have a bit of a gap.
I like it.
Even if I get like a couple of wins out of it, it's not.
I mean, you're at the point where you can make a gamble, if not pay off, and it'll be fine.
Gamble when you're ahead, not when you're behind. That's my belief. So we've got Nigel, and again, I can always take him out in September. So that's my trades. So I think we're in pretty good shape. I have post-redemption run the numbers again through the supercomputer. The Opta supercomputer, which did predictions on who's going to win. The computer this time has spewed out. It's given us final projected points totals. Okay, so you ready? Barry, 1432 final points total. From 772. Paul, 1456 final points total.
Okay.
And me, 1714, so 1,714.
Okay.
So that is what the computer's predicted. So it's predicted you having the most points in the remaining 5 months of the year, but not enough to catch me out, but enough to kind of go past Barry. So that's interesting. I think that gives me a 92% chance of winning. You're up to 5% chance of winning, whereas I think last time it was like 0.1%.
Yeah.
And Barry's at 3%. So,
okay.
It's all to play for. It's all to play for. After all in, these numbers could drastically change, Like I was following the World Cup prediction from Opta, and it was like France, 36% chance of winning. And all of a sudden they get knocked out. Oh, Spain, 36%.
Yeah. It can all change.
Results change everything. So we shall see. But that's where it currently stands in the old fantasy league.
Okay, lovely. We do have a segment and we do have a quiz.
Let's do it.
We'll do the quiz first, and then we'll do the segment because it kind of segues into the TV. We're going to play Matchpick 20.
Mm-hmm.
I've got 3 matches here. And essentially, you've got 20 questions to work out the 3 matches. And again, these are... Sorry, you have 20 questions for each match, not total. Again, these are well-known matches. They are not house show matches. They are quite well-known in history of wrestling. So if you want to go for number 1, see how quickly you can get it.
Okay, just pull up my little notepad so I can write this down. So question number 1. Did this match happen in the last 16 years?
No.
Okay, so it's pre-2010 or 2010 maybe. 2010 or before. Okay. Did this match happen in the 1990s?
No.
Okay, so looking at earlier 2000 to 2010. I'm still going to stick with the dates. Did this match happen between January the 1st, 2000 and December 31st, 2005?
Yeah.
Okay, so 2001, 2005. So we're looking at kind of late attitude era, early ruthless aggression. So we're really talking about WWE or TNA, I'd suspect. Was this match in TNA?
No.
Okay, not TNA. So I'm going to assume WWE. This is a pay-per-view match.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's 5.
That's 5. So probably WWF pay-per-view 2001, 2005, we're thinking. Was this match on one of the big 4 traditional WWE pay-per-views?
Yes, it was.
Okay. So looking at it. Okay, we narrowed it down. So that's probably, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've narrowed it down to 20 pay-per-views. Was this a WrestleMania match?
No.
Okay. Was this... Let's go through them. Or is that 2? Was this either SummerSlam or a Survivor Series?
Yet.
Okay. Was it SummerSlam?
Yes.
Okay. So that's pretty good. We're down to SummerSlam 2001 through 2005. Not my best kind of era. Because I stopped watching sort of 2003, 4, but let me think. SummerSlam 2001. Do I have a clue what that was? Not really. I think that was. That would be after the invasion, just after the invasion. So is that when they did a big... No, Survivor Series was the big thing. You had Austin, Triple H. So we got really Austin, Lesnar, Rock, Hogan, Michaels. These are like the big... Did this match involve Stone Cold Steve Austin?
No. That's 10.
Not Austin. Okay. Was this a world title match?
No. That's 11.
Not a world title match. Did this match involve The Rock?
No.
Shit. So what's is that 12? Okay.
That's
Okay.
12.
8 more. Sorry. Okay. I need to narrow down the year a bit more, but I'm not really. All I can really remember is Brock versus Rock 2002. Michaels, Triple H. What else? Batista. Oh, Orton winning the belt. But it wasn't a world title match, so it can't be that one. Did it involve Shawn Michaels?
Yes, it did.
Okay. So I'm thinking 2000. I don't think he was there in 2001. He didn't come back to 2002, did he? So could be the 2002 HBK Triple H comeback match. You've got, I think 2005 was Michaels Hogan. I'm trying to think, what did he do in 2003 or 4? I don't really remember. Did this match involve an opponent for Shawn Michaels whose name began with a H?
Yeah, they did.
Okay, that doesn't narrow it down, but it gets me to 2. Did this match involve Triple H?
Yes.
Was it
That's 15.
Shawn Michaels versus Triple H from SummerSlam 2002?
In 16, he's got it. The unsanctioned match. It was the match he returned in, of course. You mentioned this.
Yes.
That was when he returned. So that's one of my favorite SummerSlam matches, which of course was last night.
Yeah.
That's why we went with that one. So 16. So let's see if you can beat 16 for these ones. Okay, take 2. Reset all your questions.
Okay. Try and be more efficient with this one because I think I was a bit unstoppable. Did this match take place before the 1st of January 2000?
No.
Okay, so since January 2000. Has this match taken place since January the 1st, 2010?
No.
Okay, so we're down to
another.
It's the 2000s then, yeah. Okay, very nice. Was this, again, probably either WWE or TNA, was this a WWE match?
No.
Okay, so, well, I guess it could be Ring of Honor, but I'm going to think TNA or New Japan, Ring of Honor. Was this a TNA match?
Yes, it was.
Okay. TNA match. So 2000's TNA match. Right. I probably know about 3 TNA matches from the 2000s.
This is the height of the best wrestling in the world at the time.
So it's either the triple threat match or it's that cage match with Elix Skipper. Did this match involve Elix Skipper?
No.
Okay, what's that one? So was this match a 3-way / triple threat match?
No.
Okay, well, that's me knackered then. Triple threat match. January 2010. I don't think narrowing the year really helps me because I don't really know enough. Did this match involve Kurt Angle?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. I've just thought of a third one. I just thought of a third match that I know. Did this match involve Samoa Joe?
It did.
Okay, well, we got very lucky there. Was it Kurt Angle versus Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle's TNA pay-per-view debut? Or
no.
Probably not his pay-per-view debut.
Yeah, it wasn't his pay-per-view debut.
Was it Kurt Angle versus Samoa Joe?
Yeah, I'll give it to you. In the spirit of sometimes I'm too harsh in judging these things. It was Samoa Joe versus Kurt Angle at Lockdown.
I was going to say guess Lockdown.
The MMA. The MMA influenced, which is a style that is very commonplace now.
Yeah.
Sort of. I don't want to say it was the originator of that style, but it was an early enough one that I remember watching it thinking, this is very unlike anything I've seen.
Yeah.
Being a very WWE minded fan. Of course, I'd been watching TNA for, I want to say 4 years at that time, but I was more enthralled by the X Division. This was a very different stuff. I will say as well, I watched a very good match in midweek. I watched the triple threat match between Chris Sabin, now of AEW. This was before the debut, so this was not because of that. But Chris Sabin, AJ Styles, and Petey Williams in the Ultimate X match, the famous one where AJ gets hanging on the ropes and gets drop kicked and does the spin bump. It's on YouTube. Very good match. Okay, so you got that one in 8. So that was very, very fast. So final one, off you go.
Let's go. Stick with the same question. Was this match before January 1st, 2000?
No.
Okay, so since Jan 2000. Was it since January 1st, 2010?
Yeah.
Okay, so last 16 years. Was this a WWE match?
No.
Okay, not WWE, but could be AEW. Was this an AEW match?
Yeah.
Okay. I've seen every AEW match. So
you've seen
pretty much
all televised, mostly, with the exception of some
occasional
episodes and rampages that I at one point I'd seen every match. You've seen this match. I'll give you that much.
Okay, that's good.
I would give you around the ramble.
Does this match feature at least one member of the Elite?
It does. It's 5.
Okay, so it could be, we got Kenny Omega, Cody Rhodes, Hangman, Mr. Buck, and Little Buck.
Blackberry, Okada.
Oh yeah, they don't.
The Elite it can be stretched, I feel like.
Was this a pay-per-view match?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we've only got 2019 to 2026, so
there's only so many pay-per-views.
Yeah.
There's only so many matches.
What did we do? Oh, Double or Nothing. Yeah, 2019. So did this match take place in either 2019 or 2020?
No.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Did this match take place in 2021 or 2022?
Yeah.
Okay, it's 20. So on my memory, the COVID era is gonna make me struggle. Did this match feature Kenny Omega?
Yeah.
Okay, was this a world title match?
Yes, that's 10.
Did this match feature John Moxley?
Yeah.
Was it an exploding barbed wire match?
Yes.
Yes! Come on, man.
So he's got it 13. Omega Moxley exploding barbed wire death match. I was just thinking, as I was putting this together, what's an AEW main event match that has something different to it, something strange about it. So from Revolution 2021, Kenny Omega,
very nice.
John Moxley in an exploding barbed wire death match, which they have not revisited that gimmick, of course. I guess this was a show that still had it did have attendance of 1,300.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how easily that match can be done in a full or partially full arena or stadium. They never revisit it. I feel like that's something that is a thread that they at some point will have to, go back and do right to exercise that demon. Yeah. The one they did where at the end of the match, unfortunately, as Eddie Kingston tried valiantly to protect his fallen friend. Okay, Joe, you got all 3, and you did quite well.
Tremendous.
Congratulations. We'll do a little bit of explain and hang on, I'm wondering about this thing. I'm wondering about Hangman Adam Page and the way that he's been brought back. Not so much the Collision promo. I think that's been a little bit overdone, the criticism of that. I think as far as that goes, he was probably in the area. Why not bring him in? Okay, whatever about the fact that it was advertised not very far in advance and all that. I get that feedback. My concern is more about, they did the storyline where he, if he loses, he will not be able to challenge for the world title again, which I think is a very interesting storyline and lends itself to a lot of interesting directions. He lost the match and disappeared for a few months. My issue is more so that he came back and cut the promo where he listed all the singles champions and, oh, maybe I'll go after this person, maybe I'll go after this person. He then showed up on Dynamite and Collision of this week, and again seemed to not have any clear direction. Now he kind of, oh, maybe I'll team with you guys and go for the trios belts. And I get that the storyline itself is that Hangman is unsure himself of his direction and where he's going to go. But I can't help but feel like they did this storyline where they said he can't be the world champion anymore, and they've brought him back with themselves not really having a clear idea on what the direction he would take would be, which I feel like is disappointing and is a missed opportunity given the storyline that they entered themselves. It feels very like something WWE would do, where they call up someone and don't really have plans for that person, or someone returns and they don't really have anything for him to do. It's like Hangman has come back. I feel like they should have had 2-3 months figured out what it's going to be. And maybe that was. He'll come in initially and he'll be unsure of himself and he'll kind of float around from this idea to this idea. That could be. That's not the feeling I get watching the show, to be fair. But look, ultimately, in 2 months' time, maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe Hangman will have won the Continental Cup come August, and all will be clear. It just feels at the moment like it's very wishy-washy to me.
Yeah, we don't have a clear. I would say, though, counterpoint, we don't have a clear idea of where he's going. That doesn't necessarily mean they don't. But I will say that, because I think in the past we've thought that. I think when Hangman went to All In last year and won the belt, we would not have predicted that in, say, March, April. We wouldn't have thought.
We were sure Ospreay was going to win the
DRN and would go on to win it All In. So I would say I will give them the benefit of the doubt, and maybe there is a longer term storyline. Maybe it's him kind of going through all the belts and realizing that the only one he wants is the world title, something like that. It's a kind of storyline. It's Odysseus getting back to fucking Odysseus land, whatever it was called. Ithaca. And he's like, oh God, I got to get back and string that ball, fire it through those axes.
And maybe I got to fight, a Cyclops, and I got to see these giants, and I got to do this over here and do this over here, and maybe float around a little bit before ultimately reaching the destination.
Was this the call of the Sirens, Tekla, the Plus Yeah,
I agree. I do feel like, though, given that we are 4 weeks out from All In, I would sure like for Hangman Page to be involved in a feud leading to a big match.
That's why I think it's a bit late for that is the problem. Like, I didn't really expect that to happen. I thought maybe you wouldn't even be at All In, really. So
that's kind of my point, is if there's not a plan in that regard, why even bring him back now?
Yeah, it's a fair point.
Because Hangman to me is one of the, let's say 5 or 6 people that you can hang a big All-In match on.
Yeah.
Himself, Swerve, obviously Ospreay, Omega in the main, Willow, Mercedes, Tekla will hopefully have a big match. There's people that you want to see in those keystone spots on the card. Hangman is one of them. So I would feel like, okay, we just had Redemption, we just had a week of TV, but I would have hoped that, Hangman showing up. We'll talk about Dynamite. Hangman showing up at Dynamite. I would have hoped we're going to kickstart something. Maybe him and Mox. Mox is one of the people he mentioned. He was involved in that segment that started the show with Mox. I thought they maybe were going to come round to that later in the show. Then he runs out and saves, with Brody King, comes out and saves the conglomeration. I was thinking, okay. This is what I was expecting to see him involved in, and then they're going in a different direction. So my fear would be he and Brodito will win the trios belts. I'll get all the bonus points for that, so that's not too much of a fear. But that he will just end up on All In like a trios title match with the man. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of my point. That to circle back to what I said at the first point. that to me seems like a waste of Hangman, given the storyline where they did with MJF, where he couldn't transfer the belt anymore. It's like you do that storyline, and then the outcome of it is, oh, you're actually bumped way down the card. It's like Eddie Kingston gets injured, now he's on Ring of Honor. That's a strange. I don't want to say Hangman's quite to that point,
No,
but going for Charles Bells is.
The difference is, this is part of the storyline. The character has consciously said, or he wasn't conscious because he obviously didn't want to lose his right to compete for the world title, but he's in that situation. He put himself in it. He lost the right. And so he said, right, I'm going to go, there's all these other titles, all these other opportunities. I'm going to have to go compete through them. So this isn't like a shoot kind of thing where Eddie Kingston comes back and he's a bit sort of fat and not very good. And so you have to send him to Ring of Honor. This is like...
Well, have you seen Hangman's hair since he's come back? Not very good.
So I'm willing to go with it. I'm willing to see.
Okay, I mean, ultimately, let's see.
I think Hangman's he is the central character. Has been one of the most important characters in the history of AEW. So I think they will have an idea for him. Yeah. We'll see.
We will see. They're very cool.
Ultimately, it leads back to the world title. Is my feeling somehow.
See, I mean, if there's an interesting way they can do that, I was thinking Redemption would be interesting if you would have, let's say they hold on to the stipulation for a year or 2 years. You have another stipulation whereby if he wins a match, that stipulation is undone. Which to me doesn't feel like as much of a cop-out as, for example, if John Cena hits the Nexus, he's fired, and he does it, and he gets fired, he just shows up anyway on TV, and then he gets unfired. Or the TNA thing with Steve Macklin earlier this year. If they say he goes for a year, he goes for 2 years without transfer the belt, and then there's some situation whereby he gets the chance to undo that stipulation. That to me is something that could be legitimate. Anyway, very good segment. That's basically what Explain the Wondertaker is designed to be. That was sort of more of a debate Khali, to be fair, which are, to be honest, don't say the quiet bit out loud, but those two are basically the same thing. So let's get to our reviews. Joe, after Redemption, I know a lot of us in AEW world were a little bit tepid on Redemption, but I thought this was a very good Dynamite coming out of that show.
I think one of the best of the year. It was storyline wise, some very good matches in there as well. Kicked off outside, which of course we love to see. Yeah, little outside promo. So Will Ospreay heading into the arena, and then who should approach? It's the fucking Sharks. It's the Death Riders approaching him. He doesn't want to get involved, but back and forth. Garcia gets too big for his boots, gets knocked out, and then as Ospreay's walking away, who should appear?
Big Hanger.
It's the Hangman. It's Hangman Page. It was a few kind of wise words for him, saying, if you need help, I'm there. You helped me, maybe I'll help you, brother. Yeah. But Ospreay wants to do it on his own. He wants to prove he doesn't need anyone's help. He wants Kenny at his best. He wants to be at his best. He wants to prove that he deserves it. So yeah, this was a nice little wrinkle in the storyline, getting us past that kind of, we don't know where exactly the Death Riders are with Ospreay. Maybe his revenge is a dish best served cold. Maybe we'll see that. Hangman's in the mix as well.
Yes.
So that happened. That took us on to the national title match. Andrade, El Idolo, Jungle Jack Perry, Nick Wayne. Pretty good match. Any
very good. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I mean, Nick Wayne is someone I want to see more of.
Yes, I think we're ready for Nick Wayne to.
Yeah. No more hook. Did you see, by the way, I saw a very funny image in the week. It was for Ring of Honor TV. In action, the Ops, not Shibata. It was Anthony Bowens and Hook and their partner, Action Andretti. I was like, that's very much the ops level. Teaming with Action Andretti and Ring of Honor. Nick Wayne is very, very, very good. Jack Perry had a very good showing. And how you know is over, we've learned, because the crowd were chanting it like crazy. Although, to Barry's point, when we mentioned this to the cynic Murphy, he said, well, if he came out on Dynamite, the crowd would have got crazy, which probably was true.
That may be true. That may be true, but
it was a very good crowd. But
people like
how you know was over like roar.
Yeah, so it's the Andrade retained the title, pinning Nick Wayne. Schiavone got in the ring, had a little chat. He said he feels tranquilo and he wants to be the best national champion ever. And they then announced or set up a match to be the number one entrant in the Casino Gauntlet at All In.
Yes.
Which Andrade will be taking part in at Grand Slam Mexico. In a couple of days.
This is what has me thinking that if we're going to get MJF, it might be in that match, because I presume Andrade is going to be in the Gauntlet, and he still has the diamond ring, which they're referencing every week.
Right, I see.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll see. Brawling Birds backstage. I have to say, Joe, I really dislike the Brawling Birds.
Oh no,
I really don't like them at all.
Why?
I really don't like the character. I like Jamie Hayter and I like Alex Windsor. And if they had a match, it was on Collision. They're so good. Windsor as well. Windsor, I think, has stepped up. Windsor and Jamie Hayter are so good. But they're both English, and yet they act on TV like fake. Like Americans pretended to be English. They're like Dick Van Dyke characters. They come out and walk like this. Ho, 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 ho. We're bloody English, we is. They do this over acting that they're English.
That's what the Yanks like.
For American audience. I know, but I can't. It makes my toes curl when they're doing their shtick, you know? I would just want them to come out and be tough birds.
Just beat the shit out of people.
Yeah, but I just can't. Whenever they're doing promos or whatever, I just see Dick Van Dyke and Mary Poppins doing "I'm English, I is chim chim chiroo."
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I don't know what it is. It's too corny. It's like fake English, because, you know, obviously on this side of the Atlantic, we've seen real, you know, what real tough English people are like. You know, and they're not going, oh, I'm going to beat the piss out of you. You know, it's I don't know. I don't gel with it at all. Which is a shame, because, as I said, they're so good in the ring. And they set up a challenge for Collision, and the match on Collision, I'll say, they looked really good. I'll get to that. Renee with the Don Callis family.
Yeah, a bit back and forth about the various titles they hold, which ended with Fletcher saying the international title will never leave the family. And then Kazuchika Okada, who presumably was having a shit during the promo, walked in and said, I won't do his accent. He said, you're right, the title will always stay in the family. And then patted Fletcher on the back.
Yeah, he didn't quite wink. And nudge Fletcher in the rib.
I think we all got the idea.
Yes. So I mean, I think we mentioned before, All In, Takeshita, Okada, Fletcher.
Well, get the 6 stars ready, Dave, because that's.
I'll take all of that you got.
Probably take all of that. Up and down. I got run in the ring during that one. So that led into 6-man tag.
Yeah.
Don Callis family versus Speedball and Brodido. Get another very good match. Was this kind of setting up the Hangman Brodido, although without Hangman in it, match for the titles. Bandido really good. He was filming a lot of his match before.
I love Bandido. We had the discussion last week about, but I think Bandido is better than a lot of people who are holding belts currently. I wouldn't include Kyle Fletcher in that. I think Kyle Fletcher is probably, along with Takeshita, maybe my favorite wrestler in the world.
MVP, yeah.
I think Fletcher's. So good.
He should be already at that next level. I think we can grow, and I think he probably will be. I think he could even lose the international title at Wembley and then move up again. Yeah, it could be that soon because I think I
think he would be the first. Well, Derby notwithstanding, I was going to say he could be the first kind of from the ground up during the life cycle of AEW world champion, built from nothing. Yeah. Derby kind of satisfies that. Derby, when he came in, though, was kind of already from the Carl Fletcher really. I mean, granted, was in Aussie Open, was in New Japan, so maybe what I'm saying is nonsense. But Fletcher really gone from
tag team wrestler. Don't forget the first All In Aussie Open versus the Projections on that pre-show. Yeah, so it's come a long way. It's a good match. I mean, Doyle and Cage are so good as well. It's so funny in AEW that like the heavies are like great wrestlers. Just the big lunks come out and do the fucking best match you've seen. Like,
I love when Doyle and Cage come out, and compared to Cage, Doyle looks like a fat schlub. When reality is that Jake Doyle is very big and muscular, but like Cage looks like he's like some kind of radioactive triceratops or something.
And he's wearing that bodybuilder medal as well, which kind of makes him look even more buffoonish. And then they do give me the energy of like, remember in Homer's guarding the bee? He's like, oh, that's what they put me in charge, you two guys. Oh, boss. They're really good. So yeah, Bailey and Brodito won.
Of course.
With Bailey with the pin there on Doyle.
Yeah, I like the pin as Fletcher is coming in to save and he freezes. He'll stare down there. They're having obviously international title match in Arena Mexico. That'll probably get 5 stars as well.
So Renee Paquette's sit-down interview with Cope Cage and the Bucks. Kind of what you'd expect. It starts off so cordial and, oh, you got respect. We respect you. No, we respect you. And da-da-da-da-da. Then it gets off to a little bit angry. And the Bucks talk about being kind of underappreciated, or no one thought they could do it, and they've always proved people wrong. And da-da-da-da-da. It was fine. It was... I like these sit-down interview styles. They can work very nicely. They're okay. They're different, change of pace from just that boring kind of backstage promo. This was fine.
I liked it. I problem with Matt Jackson's promo style, though, is that he does the Adam Cole sort of stammer. So he does that a lot. Nick Jackson should have said, you hit me with a spear, I'm just going to jump straight back up. They're doing a super kick. They should have made... Not that they should have, but I thought it would be funny if they'd made someone to the spot at Redemption where someone forfeit. This guy's... with anything, he's going to pop straight up. But no, I thought that was good.
Yeah.
Maya Persephone. Good showing. Best showing from Maya in a while, I would say.
Yeah, it was okay. I'm not...
I think Persephone is one of the legion of wrestlers that AEW use now who is like better than most of the people who they use full time. Add her to the Athena pile of people where it's like, why did I not use those people more? They're really good. I think Persephone is great. And we did have finally the Statlander return, who I threw out of my team back at that Survival of the Fittest match. She's finally returned, and she's gonna have that match with Persephone, which they set up 6 weeks ago, and finally are now doing. I thought the match was quite good. I think it was my world's best match probably since the Mercedes match, to be honest. I think Persephone's great.
She is good. I'm just not into that. This kind of women's mid card is just not doing it for me, to be honest. I mean, I like the world title picture. I think is very good.
Yeah.
I think the tag title picture, in spite of what we just said about the Brawling Birds, I do love Divine Dominion, and I would love to see that match.
The match is gonna be great.
Everything in the mid card, I'm like, just does nothing for me. I'm not. There's no one in there that I really want to root for, or like.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued to see their matches, even if they're a good wrestler. Really, I think there's some work to be done.
I think the thing is that when someone gets a good character, they're like pushed to the top immediately.
Yes.
Tony Storm. So
Because there aren't enough to fill 3 divisions. That's why. So it's just what it is. What it is. So yes, My World won after a bit of interference. Mark Davis was backstage, called out Will Ospreay, so we're going to get that match run back in Mexico. Which was that a 5 the last time they did that? I think Dave went 5 on that one.
Ooh, that was the one where Ospreay couldn't continue. They did the slap.
No, what am I thinking of? He beat him though in the Owen.
Oh, they did it. Sorry, they did it.
That's
right. Yes. So it's the rubber match.
This is the rubber match. Yes, Willow Nightingale's AEW title celebration.
Finally, it was an actual celebration.
Yes, they had a celebration. She came out. Classic Willow promo. She talked about all the hard times she's had. How people, didn't think she could do it. She didn't always, think she would do it, but she did. She's done the Triple Crown in the last kind of, what was it, like, since the start of the year. She won it January, whatever it was, the first week.
Well, she won the belt on the last show of 2025.
New Year's Eve, right? Or whatever it was. So,
she held that belt and then won the other 2 belts.
And won the tag belts. Fantastic. So and the crowd just love Willow, and she got a perfect babyface promo. I mean, it's just like she's genuinely likable. It doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel like she has to get people on her side. She's just a great wrestler. So she did that, and then Mercedes Moné comes out, booed resoundingly by the Detroit crowd.
Of course.
She says, I didn't come to ruin your celebration. I just want to sign the contract. So Willow slaps it on her chest and signs it there and then and says, what's your problem? Well, you're not getting enough attention. Calls out the fact that she still hasn't, for all the belts that she won last year, she still hasn't won the one that really matters.
Can't win that one.
Women's world title. So ended in some physicality and the Divine Dominion showing up and taking out Willow, saved by the Brawling Birds, who helped her back to her feet. So we got a little 6-woman kind of showdown there.
And we're going to get one at Arena Mexico, which I'm very much looking forward to.
We are so looking forward to that. I mean, great, that was a great segment all round. It's just a classic, perfect wrestling segment. For sure. Anyone that's like, AEW doesn't do this, AEW's just matches and didn't it? I'm sorry, you put this up against anything from wrestling history, and this is just comparable. Like, it was the dynamic and the delivery, everything about it. It's fantastic. John Moxley, Commander, Continental title. Oh, wow.
Love
which way could this go? This was great, though. I really loved this match.
I loved it.
So what, 10, 12 minute match that was like just fantastic offense. Moxley kind of throwing Commander around. Commander's makes everything look kind of really exciting and just really good. Moxley's going to win ultimately, but they do enough where you're like, oh, what's going to happen next?
The journey is
it's that following where the match is going to go rather than necessarily thinking who's going to win. So I thought this was really, really good. Commander misses the shooting star press off the ropes, and then Moxley hits the curb stomp Death Rider into the bulldog choke to pass him out. So really, really nice match. This could have been on the pay-per-view, honestly, that match. I've not been unhappy.
I mean, Commander for me is up there. He's he never is.
Everyone's up there every time.
No, but
every match we're like, this guy's up there.
Commander is underrated. Commander is excellent.
Mick Foley backstage with the Dean Bill King.
The Jay Whiteless.
No, Jay White. Bang, bang, gang. So they just kind of called out various people. Days, basically setting up a collision match.
It's funny because they mentioned the Dogs and the Death Riders. I said, any combination of you guys. And then it was just the Death Riders.
Yeah.
So plans change.
Random. And then this was the main event. Was this the main event?
Well,
we had this was the final, the final match.
Yeah.
Which was Conglomeration defending against the Demand in the trio for the trios belts, which of course the Demand won.
Yeah.
So I think, and then
Conglomeration run comes to an end.
And then Hangman Page.
Thanks to the interference of the Lethal Twist main eventers in Ring of Honor.
Yeah, with Brody King and Hangman Page coming out to even the odds there.
Yeah.
Gonna set up that little trios match next week.
Yeah. So the men win the belts. Again, I'm kind of up and down on them.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the right time for Conglomeration to win. And to your point, very possibly just an excuse to shift the belts onto a different babyface team in Arena Mexico.
Mm-hmm. Backstage segment, which I think was just to set up Ospreay versus Garcia. Then there was also the kind of mention of the Continental Cup, which was confusing at first because I thought they were referring to.
Yeah, once we referenced it.
It was like, what? That's 4 months away. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So there's that. And then we got the final segment, which was Ospreay or Kenny Omega coming out and then being immediately confronted by Will Ospreay. And, I won't go through the whole thing, but essentially back and forth of what happened at the end of Redemption.
Yeah.
Ospreay not suffocating Kenny Omega with the plastic bag and then getting a one-winged angel for his trouble. And Omega saying, why did he do it? And you are my friend. Oh, you're my friend. You're not my friend. You are my fucking friend, mate. Fuck you. Penalties. This was good. This was really good.
Yeah.
It took it to the kind of, it's about rivalry and about grudges and about personal kind of, good guy, bad guy. This is a bit more kind of complex than that, but really
this is my point about WWE earlier. This kind of feels like one of those feuds where they're not quite babyface, not quite heel, either of them in the feud dynamic. And they've done, I wouldn't say this is a word shoot promo. This was definitely a promo that all to do with storyline, but at least this isn't two guys who will do this every week for the next 4 weeks and make shoot comments about, I remember you at the Bullet Club and da-da-da-da-da. So I like this a lot. I guess Omega is going to be the one leaning heel, even if he's not an out and out heel. To at least give the feud that dynamic. I liked it a lot. Ospreay can still be a bit corny at times, but I thought his delivery was mostly very good here. I thought one of Omega's best promos going back a while, but he still has to be like, you're so gosh darn da da da. And it's like, I don't know, this to me felt like the kind of promo where it's like, if Kenny, for him to show that his character is being real serious, to maybe drop the goofy oh gosh darn, corniness, and just say like, God damn, and then I go, oh my god, this guy's really angry. But no, very, very good, very good. And establishing the fact that they're each willing now to go to the point of hurting the other person to win the match. So the match is of utmost importance. Very good.
Excellent. That was Dynamite. I did watch Collision, actually.
So did I.
Both watched Collision. I don't have the rundown up.
I have it up. So we opened with the debut, re-debut, if you want to consider it, their original appearance at whatever pay-per-view that was. The Motor City Machine Guns, who I had a T-shirt of so long ago. It was before I moved to France. I had a T-shirt of the Motor City Machine Guns. So wow. Back to like 08 maybe. The classic black one with MCMG on the front with kind of a grey graphic and then Motor City Machine Guns on the back. So I was a big Motor City Machine Guns fan back in the day. When they became free agents the first time and there was talk about would they go to WWE, would they go to AEW, I was very kind of ho-hum on them coming to AEW. I said, well, to me, they kind of followed the trajectory of like an AJ Styles, where if I wanted Motor City Machine Guns, I really would want them at their peak. Not that them coming in is ultimately not good. I'm sure they'll have good matches, but to me, it has a bit of like signing Casemiro towards the end of his career to it, if you know what I mean. I would still be somewhat bullish on them coming in. I mean, look, they're here now. Let's see what they do. But I'm happy they're here because I was a big fan of them going back many years. But I don't know. I think their WWE run, if anything, has kind of not put a stink on them necessarily, but like I'm maybe even slightly less interested now than I was however long ago, a year ago, whatever it was when they went to WWE. You know, I'm sure they'll come good. I just feel like if this happened in say 2021, I would have been all over it. But these guys, you know, they've been around for like 20 years. They're not getting any younger. Sliding them now in 2026. Are you going to get the best years of them? Yeah, I don't know. Or will they fit into a given that they debuted on a Collision and not a Dynamite? I wonder if that's kind of setting expectations for how they're going to be used. Will they be like a Bang Bang Gang or a Rascals that kind of, you know, has matches here and there, but it isn't really involved in the tag team title scene necessarily. You know what I mean?
I think we will get Bucks. Yeah, Bucks versus Guns at least. Like once the Young Bucks win the belts, I think we're going to get that. It obviously seems like we didn't. When did that happen? Was that this week? New Day releasing that video.
Escape rate.
It was an escape video. We'll see where that goes.
Where's the escape video? Is such a funny trope now. You've been this place I worked for. How long has Kofi been there? 20 years.
Yeah.
You had a few chances probably to leave that prison and decided not to for some reason. What the hell is that about? Anyway.
Yes, so I think we'll see that. I think they're good enough they'll be in the big pay-per-view kind of tag title matches. I think this is the Rascals. Yeah. I think they'll be after that. You never know if they just kind of fade out a little bit, which does happen in AEW.
Speaking of the Rascals versus the Demand for the Trios Championship. I thought very good. I like this more than the conglomeration match. I think the Rascals. I might secretly really like the Rascals. I don't know.
I think they're good.
I thought they were good here.
It's just
Myron Reed in particular.
It's just one of those. Not enough time. You've got endless
too many
teams,
people, not enough time.
Endless trios, endless tags.
Yes. Lexi Nair backstage with the Conglomerate. All three men announced they're in the Continental Cup, as you mentioned, and that they'll be doing the ALS Icebook Challenge live on the air, which they then did later on. Shivani announced the Continental Cup. It will be a 16-man tournament where every match is drawn at random. The Continental Championship will be on the line in the tournament. Moxley has been entered. Nigel McGuinness announced. So Moxley is in the tournament. So I guess the final is just whoever the last two are. So Moxley could get eliminated early. I don't anticipate he will be, but I would expect he will be in the final.
Yeah.
So that kind of, to me, answers what Moxley will be doing at All In. If I was to put money on, I would imagine we're getting a rematch of last year's main event. Moxley Hangman again would be my guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say Moxley going all the way. That'd be nice.
Tommaso Ciampa, Nick Camarado. Ciampa came out with a plaster on his head. With the commentators mentioned is still bleeding after Jericho put a drill into his head. I would seriously question the AEW process of getting cleared to wrestle in that case. A man who is like Hans Molman going into Mr. Bird's to ask for the new broom and getting, so you're that leprechaun, let me get your brains, and drills into his head. He beat Camarado nevertheless, even in his compromised state. Hangman, Brody King, and Bandito mentioned that they'll go for the belts at Arena Mexico. Bandito said, you know what we should be called? The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And Brody King said, which one of us is the ugly one? And they looked at him out of the corner of their eyes and walked away.
Yeah.
Poor Brody. Brawling Birds and Hazuki versus Athena, Billy Starks, and Diamante. I thought the Brawling Birds, Windsor in particular, looked really good here.
They're particularly great as a tag team, like the combinations and stuff. Like it's not just two good wrestlers, it's like as an actual team, really good as well.
Really good, just with the corniest gimmick, which is a shame. it's funny because we don't have very many women on the roster whose gimmick is that they are like ass kickers. Maybe Shafir is the closest, but then Marina Shafir has that gimmick, and then will like lose to Mina Shirakawa, for example. So I don't know. I would like some like ass kicking, sort of John Moxley style characters for like the tougher women that you could buy into, like a Hayter, Windsor, Megan Bain, for example. Just fucking have them be tough killers. Anyway, Brawling Birds and Hazuki did win. Divine Dominion then appeared, and there was a brawl. They did the Ice Bucket Challenge, and out to pour the ice was Rhino and the Insane Clown Posse.
Detroit.
What the hell is this, 1998 all over again or something? I think Rhino's Hey Lady CW was later than that, but you get my point.
Yeah.
Death Riders versus Bang Bang Gang with the owners of the finest entrance in wrestling. Bang Bang Gang with the win here, surprisingly. So I wonder what that's going to lead to. No Jay White, as you mentioned, so hopefully he's okay. I remember at Redemption, didn't David Finlay give him like a really scary looking Dominator? I wonder if they're just being careful for the time being with that, or whether he was hurt. I don't know. That hasn't been in the news, of course. While Bang Bang Gang were celebrating, they were attacked by the Dogs, and the Motor City Machine Guns ran out to make the save. They announced, by the way, that number one contender match for the Gauntlet is going to be Andrade El Idolo versus Tommaso Ciampa versus, I forget who the third person is. Do you remember?
No.
Somebody else.
Let's go.
Chris Statlander, Aurora Tevez in action. Statlander won, of course. My
Commander. How could I forget?
It's Commander again. Favorite. Happy days. The match will be great. The match will get 5 stars.
Commander.
Kevin Knight backstage as well, challenging 3 former world champions to face him. So we're also getting Grand Slam Mexico, Okada, Hechicero, and Kevin Knight against Mystico, Jericho, and Darby Allin. Jay Lethal Commander. Look, I love Commander, but I don't love Jay Lethal, to be honest. Still, Commander had a good showing. We also had Paul White on commentary for this show, by the way. I thought he did a very good job. I thought he was very funny. And then Will Ospreay, Daniel Garcia in the main event, and Ospreay, of course, got the win there.
Yeah, it was good. Very good.
And Mark Davis attacked afterwards. That's the show went off the air with that. So there you go. That was your TV for the week. I also watched some more New Japan G1. I'm all caught up as of today. I want to give special mention to a match that the coward Meltzer only gave the 4 3/4, but I thought was really, really fun. Was Yota Tsuji against Yuto Ice from one of the midweek shows. They had a match. I remember a few years ago there was a match, a G1 match between Taichi and Kota Ibushi. That's how long back we're going, where they just did like exclusively kicks for the first 10 minutes and nothing else. And it was really fun and really, because they're so different, right? I'm not sure on the exact final count, but my belief, seeing from various sources, was that in this match, Yota Tsuji hit Yuto Ice with something in the range of 280 chops. I don't know if you've seen the picture.
Oh, I saw
the big purple kitty of the man.
Big Bruce today.
Yeah, so that match was really fun. I mean, the way they sold Yuto Ice kind of come back and just chop after chop after chop after chop after chop. Really good. Really, really good. Been a good G1 this year. I've been enjoying every show. Maybe what I'll do is, obviously I can't review all the matches. Maybe what I'll do as we come to a close is a ranking of all the guys, like who's had a good G1 down to who's had a bad one. I'd say there's only a handful of people that when they come out for a match, I kind of go, oh, here's the Jake. Spoiler: Jake Lee will be at the very, very bottom of that list. But a lot of people have had very good G1s. It's been very, very entertaining. And then we had Dark Side of the Ring was Big Boss Man Ray Traylor this week. Was nice, but I would say this to me felt like one of those template episodes where they just talk about his career. He passed away. He was involved in some weird storylines, and it's kind of that's it. Obviously very loved by his family. They had the daughter and the wife interviewed on it. And Big Boss Man, one of my favorite character wrestlers over the years. But I mean, it all came down to like he was a good man who didn't really have demons, but his injuries got the better of him, and he started taking pain pills and all that. That was kind of it. There wasn't really a big element of the dark side of the Big Boss Man, to be honest. They talked about the Pepper storyline. They talked about him with the Big Show's daddy. Yeah. Funny enough, I don't think they mentioned that the Big Show's father had actually passed away months before, and that this wasn't a real funeral. I feel like it's an important part of the story of that. Anyway, so that's your wrestling for the week. We do have some movies, TV, and I guess a book or two to talk about. One movie for me on my big new telly, big 50-inch TV, 50. So I need to get a good movie. I watched the new Masters of the Universe.
Wow.
The He-Man.
Is that Criterion Collection or?
It's Amazon.
Oh, Amazon Collection.
So it would be Prime Video forever, I guess. Produced by Amazon Studios. And I know that because at one point a character is hit by not just any van. It's a Prime van. They do the Amazon Prime deliveries in the van.
But the character gets hit by
one of the characters in the film is hit by a Prime van, which is
that good publicity.
Is number one very accurate to how those delivery drivers drive. But no, it's just product placement. It's just Amazon Prime on the screen. Directed by Travis Knight, who's done two movies that I very much enjoyed. Kubo and the Two Strings, a Leica stop motion animated movie, which is great. And Bumblebee, the one good Transformers movie. So this is a guy who's very capable of making some nice lemonade out of some real lemons, let me tell you. And he's done it again. A very fun movie, Masters of the Universe. I've never seen, I don't know if you have, the 80s Dolph Lundgren Masters of the Universe.
No, I've never saw that.
Lundgren does make a cameo appearance in this one as well, funnily enough. But no, really fun. I will say it's too long. If I was to criticize the movie, I do think overall it's very fun. But it's for Masters of the Universe, which is a campy fantasy action romp, very much in the style of your 80s fantasy. It doesn't need to be 2 hours 20. It's like an epic. Chop a good half an hour off this would be my advice. You have a really fun time. There is also the humor is mostly hit, but there are some misses. There are some Marvel comedy moments, but I will say, for the most part, very funny. The performances are all perfect for the kind of movie it is. I would say especially Alison Brie, who is under no illusion that she is not in a campy, stupid movie, and so acts accordingly. Pains me to say, Jared Leto, of recent accusations and years going back, knowing that he's a complete oddball and weirdo, at least, not to say that he's not worse than that, based on the recent accusations. It doesn't give me any pleasure to say that he is very good in it as well. The lead guy who plays He-Man is an English actor. I'm not sure his name, but I thought he was very charming and funny in it as well. Idris Elba, very funny and good in it. Really a fun time, I gotta say. Went in with low expectations. I know the Half in the Bag review they did on this movie, they were very positive on it, and I thought it was very fun, very bright colors everywhere as well. It's not a movie that's like a dark retelling of these the original. It's very colorful. I will say the CGI also is not very good, but the prosthetics and the kind of fancy characters designs are like they're ripped straight out of the 80s. Really, really excellently done. So I'll give Masters of the Universe a thumbs up. I give it a 7 on Letterboxd, but it's a strong
Nice.
7. So the only thing, like I said, is it's a little bit long, and I could see the 2 hours 20 being a roadblock for people to give this kind of movie a try. Like, do you want to watch a silly, campy movie? Probably you're in the mood for something in the 1 hour 45 range. So 2 hour 20 of that is a little bit long, but it was a fun time. So I would say to people, I would recommend it. Recommend 2026 Masters of the Universe. Travis Knight, you've done it again. You've done it again. You've taken some real shit and you've turned it into something worth watching. So thumbs up on that one. What about yourself?
I'm interested in that one, but I think I wouldn't bother going to see it. That's a bit too far.
No, it's on Amazon.
I'll watch that. That'll be fun.
Did you have any of the toys back in the day?
Oh, they were my first kind of action figure, franchise.
I never did, but my cousins had them. So I remember them.
I think it was a very specific couple of years when that cartoon was on. But I had
84.
I had the big tiger that he rides on. Can't remember the name.
Yeah, Battle Cat.
I had Skeletor. I had a few of the sort of side guys as well. I was a big fan. I think I got a lot of my kind of moral center from He-Man, in terms of making the world a better place and being a big muscly.
All you have to do is pull a huge sword out and get real muscly.
What you got to do is you got to be a big muscly man and hit people with a sword.
Yeah.
I watched a couple of movies. Still on Mubi, although I didn't get through as many movies this week, unfortunately. Just the one. Watched The Fall, which I had never heard of.
I know do you know this poster for The Fall? I feel like I've seen that poster 100 times. I know nothing about the movie or who's in it or what it is, but the eyes with the mask.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've seen that either DVD cover or movie poster or whatever 1 million times, and I have no idea what the movie is.
It is a very interesting movie. It's by this director called Tasim Singh, who has done other stuff, but I honestly, I'm not really familiar. I mean, he did Mirror Mirror with with Lily Collins and Julia Roberts. I don't remember that Snow White
barely
movie from years ago. What else we got here? Yeah, nothing else that's kind of probably really on people's radar. Done a lot of music videos. Yeah, but he directed this video called The Fall, which stars Lee Pace as a hospital patient who kind of befriends a young girl in the hospital. It's set in the 1920s in Los Angeles. So he's this stunt man, and a stunt goes wrong and he ends up in hospital, can't move his legs. So he's stuck there. So he's talking to this little girl who's kind of a bit of a cheeky little girl who's running around the hospital getting into scrapes, and she takes a liking to him and keeps bugging him. So he starts to tell her these very kind of fantastical stories about explorers and kings in the desert and all this kind of thing. And he's making up this. It's a bit of a Princess Bride almost, but not a comedy so much as a kind of a visual feast. So it's all filmed in real locations in kind of deserts and forests and on islands and all these absolutely phenomenal visuals in this film. This is one you really would see on a big screen. It's not got much of a story to it, because a lot of it is this kind of telling of this very fantastical story, which is quite kind of lightweight, almost a little bit self-indulgent in how just purely visual it is. Nothing's really going on. It's like a kid's story. But I do think that it's kind of carried along by the relationship between the little girl and Lee Pace is just really nice, and that kind of gets you through each of these segments, which are just very much look at these amazing visuals, or look at these amazing costumes, or look at this fantastical world. So kind of a strange movie, but I did really like it. It's very kind of bold and sort of just out there. This is very much like a director who wanted to make something and just made what he wanted to make. Putting the film into 4 years to get around these kind of different locations, but it's a unique experience. I would certainly want to check out. It's just such a kind of weird film to think this came out in 2006. And it's just, it feels almost to me like a kind of movie of a previous era where it just had this huge scope to it. And It's a very real auteur movie, but it's kind of it was made in 2006. I couldn't really get my head around that.
Okay.
But yeah, really, really kind of interesting. So check that one out if you can. I think it wasn't released for a long time, like it wasn't available on physical media for a long time, but apparently it's out now. Movie have done a re-release of it. Also quickly watched, just was around my mum's today. We popped around for lunch and we had the TV on and they were showing Loch Ness, which is a 1996 drama starring Ted Danson and Jolie Richardson about a zoologist played by Danson who goes to Scotland to try and find the Loch Ness monster. And it sort of turns into a bit of a rom-com with Richardson, and it's like him trying to find this monster, but he's a kind of fish out of water because he's as American, and they're all wily Scots who are like, "You take your money, but I'll show you on a monster," and all that. He's very like heavy on the kind of oh, we're in Scotland, whiskey and all that sort of thing.
And is it like an American production?
I'm not too sure. It felt like it. Here it says kind of British family film.
I'm just thinking it's Scottsploitation.
It does feel a little bit like that. Let's have a look. Oh, actually, the director was English, written by John Fusco, American scriptwriter. So maybe, a little bit. And I'll be honest, Jolie Richardson's Scottish accent was pretty dire. I would say one of the worst I've heard.
True.
But very notable for the fact that in the final scene, they go to the Natural History Museum to present the evidence that they've got of this Loch Ness monster. And the kind of main chairman is Fred Elliott from Coronation Street. He doesn't have any lines.
Oh my God.
But of course, as soon as I see him, I forget the rest of the movie. I'm like, it's Fred. Fred, I say Fred. Ashley.
Loch Ness, I say Loch Ness.
Yeah, so
right.
It's funny because I remember that film very vividly, but never saw it like years ago. So I finally seen Loch Ness. So that's in terms of films. I've got a couple of series that we've polished off. That's probably why we haven't watched as many films because we've done some series. So finished The Bear.
How'd you find that?
A bit hard going.
Really? I like that last season.
A bit hard going, I think. It just in the sense that the way they kind of treat cooking in a restaurant as if it's like Oppenheimer. You know what I mean? Like the way it's filmed and the way the characters talk, it's always like a parody of Oppenheimer. Oh, we gotta make this filet mignon. This fucking the Wagyu hasn't arrived. Oh my God! It's just so over the top. It's almost silly, but I will say, I think it did get better as it went on. I didn't really like the first few episodes. It just like nothing happens. It's very much just establishing the vibes, establishing the feel. It takes a few episodes to really feel like something's happening. I did quite like the last few episodes. I thought it was fine. It's a show that I think it went on maybe a bit too long. Just sort of disappeared up its own backside a little bit in those middle seasons. But overall, I'm glad that it exists. Like I really liked the characters and the dynamic and the idea of that show. So yeah, I got a lot out of it, but wasn't perfect.
Definitely
also,
a very different show in the last season than the first.
Yeah, the idea that it's like a comedy, or almost like a sitcom, kind of in the awards categories. It's in there. It's like, well, this is not really a drama or a comedy. It's almost, I don't know what it is. I also watched The Lowdown with Ethan Hawke, which is a kind of mystery, not exactly a Western, but it's set in Oklahoma. And it's kind of a mystery. He plays a writer who's trying to get to the bottom of a death of this famous novelist. And he's investigating the family, and he runs a bookshop, and his life's falling apart. I quite enjoyed it. It's a little bit cliche in terms of it's like, oh, it was all about it. Was it about this? Was it about a land deal? Or what was this going on? Oh, it's kind of one of those typical kind of yarns of like, someone's been murdered, but not for the reasons we expect. So I think without Ethan Hawke in it, it wouldn't have held my interest as much, but he's such a charismatic and kind of good actor that you're like, oh, okay, well, I'll watch this because he's in it. Peter Dinklage does turn up for one episode, which is the best episode of the lot because Peter Dinklage is in it.
Gerald Dinkle. Yeah.
Oh, Dinkle's just doing like kind of drunkenly abusing Ethan Hawke for the episode. He's just very, very funny. I'd love to see them as a pairing in something else. And the only other thing I've noticed is that Ethan Hawke in this looks a lot like modern day Shawn Michaels, in terms of how like bedraggled the character is. Like,
yeah,
I'll maybe put a picture in the artwork just to get that across. But yeah, just kept saying that. And she was like, "Don't say that," and I'm like, "Well, that's so yeah, any TV for you?"
I've watched another very good X-Men episode. I'm liking that. There's only 2 left. Very good cartoon, superhero cartoon that I enjoy a lot. That and the Batman are 2 very good superhero cartoons that you can enjoy even as an adult. Whereas everything else is for stupid little children.
Little babies.
The little babas. But X-Men 97 continues to be very good. I look forward to the close of the season, where they're going to go with that. And I've been watching some more of Mrs. Davis, which is the Damon Lindelof written sort of very mad mystery show with Betty Gilpin. Is that her name?
Betty Gilpin from
that's her name. Betty Gilpin from Nurse Jackie, among other things.
Oh, yeah.
She appeared in Widow's Bay for an episode or 2. She's very good in it, but it's I couldn't even begin to. Let me look up a synopsis for Mrs. Davis, because it is wild. Mrs. Davis, the one on Wikipedia is too small, so I'm going to try and get a bigger one. Mrs. Davis synopsis. So, this is the Google AI overview, so there's a lot to do for you.
Right.
Mrs. Davis is a sci-fi comedy drama series where a defiant nun teams up with her ex-boyfriend to destroy a powerful artificial intelligence, ironically, known as Mrs. Davis, by finding the Holy Grail.
Okay.
What do all of those words have to do with each other? Even I'm not sure. And I've watched 7 episodes of it. It is very, very fun, though. Every episode, it is serialized, but every episode almost feels standalone because they're all so different from each other. There's a couple of movies that I could liken it to. Stuff like Under the Silver Lake that are so out there that it's like difficult to explain to somebody why you like the movie or why it works.
Yeah.
I feel like Mrs. Davis is one of those. It's very, very strange. The logic of, like, the show has its own internal logic where you would try to follow it in like a realistic way. The show is completely existing in some other reality that is not ours. So try to do that. But no, very, very fun. I do like I think Lindelof is one of the best TV writers currently going. He is writing. He did the Watchmen show, which was excellent. Did Lost, obviously, which I love. Kind of fell off towards the end. He did The Leftovers, which I love. I believe he's working on the new Lanterns TV show, like the Green Lantern. So I probably will have to watch that because I do like his stuff. And I do like Mr. Davis a lot as well. So I've been watching that. So to close us out, I've been reading my Dan Brown book, Origin.
Nice.
I have about 100 pages left in it. Not the page turner I expected it was going to be, to be honest. I'll try to power through it tomorrow so I can bring it back to the library on Tuesday. But it's, when you think of a Dan Brown book, you're thinking of certain things that you want to happen. And not necessarily from a plot point of view, but you want it to be like a page turner.
Of course,
They make the next discovery, which will lead to the next plot point. You say, oh my God, I can't wait to find out what's going to happen. I am now, I want to say, about 350 pages in. And at no point has that, like, really, you associate with Dan Brown books, like, very fast plots. Because the chapters are very short, so you're moving constantly on to the next thing. Even though they're like, we accept that they're stupid, and they're like, the point that annoying people make about Chris Nolan movies.
Yeah.
Chris Nolan movies, not quite as smart as we think. Chris Nolan, like a smart guy for stupid people. Dan Brown books are that, right? So they are what people say Christopher Nolan is, but they're fun and they're enjoyable nevertheless. And look, I that's all I want. And this is like the slowest moving Dan Brown book that I've read of the 5 of whatever that I've read. And we're only now getting to the point where there's like, and then Robert Langdon needs to work out what the password is to get to the thing. I was like, well, I'm 350 pages in. This should have started 200 pages ago. We can get to it. So it's a fine read. I'm just, not compelled to keep reading to find out the next thing. It's like really, really slow moving in that regard. So bit of a disappointment when even his like worse books, like stuff like Inferno and Lost Symbol, they still have that element. This one really doesn't, and it's very strange to read because it's still a Dan Brown book. It still has those short chapters that you associate with his books. But I read one chapter and I'm like, yeah, that's okay. It's become very much. I think I said this before. It's become very much my like toilet book. I read on the toilet and then I'm not compelled to
pick that up. Yeah,
I'm not compelled to read it outside of that situation. When I'm just like on the couch with nothing to do, I'm not picking up the book to read it.
No, fair.
I will tomorrow to get it done, but that's it. What's this others that you have to talk about?
Well, yeah, I also just finished another book. Keep the Aspidistras Flying by George Orwell. So this is one of his earlier kind of books. It's about a guy who lives in London who works in advertising but then gives it up. He's a talented copywriter, but he's also very kind of against career and ambition and money and decides to give it up to work in a bookshop. And then it's about his kind of life dealing with basically poverty, not earning much, and how essentially it's impossible to choose kind of art over the pursuit of money without living in poverty, and how you're constantly dragged into that world because if you don't have money, you can't even go to the pub, you can't get married, you can't have any privacy. You've got the whole kind of thesis on this. It's very, Orwell's theme of people being kind of trapped in oppressive societies or situations. In this case, it's a little bit sort of self-imposed, but I found it very, very interesting. I think it's a very funny book, and it's kind of interesting that the main characters in some ways kind of very unlikable or very annoying, but also still quite compelling, because I think Orwell draws out enough in him that you can recognize in yourself to be like, yeah, I would probably do something like that. I would think that and be a bit of a prat for thinking it, but I would think that, you can kind of recognize those negatives in yourself, and that's what makes it kind of relatable, and you still, sort of root for the character despite everything. So yeah, really, really, really good book. I know it wasn't one of Orwell's favorites. He kind of didn't like it, but I think partly that was because the publisher sort of interfered and changed it, and this is more like his original version apparently that was published. So yeah, very good. So I might go. I mean, I've read a lot of Orwell's books now, but there's a couple more I want to check out. Yeah, and now moving on to a bit of John le Carré, the old spy. Have you ever read any? I know you've read a lot of the Bond books. Have you ever read any of John le Carré?
I've not. I've seen some of the movie adaptations. That's all.
Yeah, so I'm going to check it out because
I have a lovely Steelbook Blu-ray of Tinker Tailor's Spy. Closest that I've gotten to read one of his books. But this is my thing with the library, and why I'm reading Dan Brown and the James Bond books by Anthony Horowitz and Richard Osman's books.
Yeah,
is that I accept that these are like entry level books.
Yeah, that's fun.
The idea is to get back into reading, and my fear was if I jump straight into something that's a bit heavier,
it's a bit hard,
I would get 4 chapters in and tap out.
Yeah, so I also have a copy of Dune by Frank Herbert, which I'm excited to read because of the movies, but also fucking hell, it looks like a hard import. So let's see, I might get to that later in the year.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
So it's going to do it for us. Another episode in the bank. Thank you for joining us. We will be back next week, of course, with Barry in tow. We will be reporting on Grand Slam Mexico. Any news in the wrestling world, probably some movies. Might see Spider-Man, hopefully by next week. So it'll be fun.
Yeah, I've seen it's been getting very good reviews. I don't personally have any interest to see it, but the reviews are kind of.
I was going to see it anyway, but now the reviews have been pretty good. I'm like, actually, yeah, no.
Reviews have been very good. Reviews are very good.
Yeah, it should be good. But we'll be back next week. Don't forget, if you want to send us an email, send us an email, ChairShotPodcast.com.
Yeah.
Or you can check out the Fantasy League on the website, ChairShotPodcast.com as well. And that is it. So that leaves us. So thank you for joining us. And it's goodbye from me and a goodbye from Mr. Paul Griffin.
Goodbye.